fans, welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss a really exciting UFC 297 featherweight fight. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly and help the channel grow. Alright guys, we got Arnold Allen coming back, taking on Movsar Evloev in the featherweight division this Saturday, UFC 297 on the main card. And a fight that has a lot of implications for the futures of both fighters, right? You got Movsar, who is 17-0, almost looks like he doesn't have any weaknesses. He's coming off that crazy war that he had with Diego Lopez in a fight that I think shows because how good Diego has done since that fight, how good he did in that fight. But I think what to take away from Movsar, he wasn't expecting Diego to come out like that. So effective, so strong, so explosive, so unpredictable. And he was able to slow the fight down, get it to the ground at times, and find his path to victory. A phenomenal fight IQ, relentless pressure to zap that gas tank of Diego, stop him in his tracks as well, because that first round was crazy. Diego was landing bombs. He had that triangle. He had that arm bar in there. He almost finished it several times, but Movsar was able to just stay patient, stay calm, and really just slow the fight down, get himself back into good winning positions. When he got on top, he controlled a lot of the time. And he was able to zap that gas tank of Diego and kind of just stop that pressure. It was just unrelenting, moving forward. And you saw him just slowly take over rounds 2 and 3. Saw the same thing with Dan Ige, and Nick Lentz. He's so good everywhere. He's got good striking. He's 6 or 7-0 in the UFC, all decisions, right? So you would not sit here and say he has this sense of urgency to finish the fight. You definitely don't see a lot of power coming out of his hands, but you see just he's technical everywhere. He's good everywhere. He's good on the feet. Got great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu. He just goes out there and just dominates these guys. He shuts their game plan down and he goes out there and just puts an unrelenting pressure for 3 to 5 rounds. And I don't think he's had a main event. So I think 3 rounds every time. But it just goes to show, nobody's been able to solve that puzzle. And going against a guy like Arnold Allen, who also is just pedal to the metal, go, 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 hands in your fucking face, nonstop. Very similar to Max Holloway. And he's coming off of that fight against Max where Max did to him what he's done to everybody else who's not fucking Alexander Volkanovski. And Arnold, what he's also been able to do, he's been almost like the boogeyman of the featherweight division for several years. He's still only 29 years old. He's been in the UFC, I think, 8 years almost. Only losses to Max Holloway. Before that, he had the weird fight against Calvin Kattar, but he absolutely beat the brakes off of Dan Hooker, had that solid win over Sadiq Youssef, and just absolutely just demolished and obliterated Nick Lentz and Gilbert Melendez. So, he's just gone out there and put on impressive performance after impressive performance. A lot of the holes that we've seen in Arnold is that he's just so reckless. He's just you're going to go down before I go down. He definitely leaves his chin up and open for the taking. But a lot of the time, these guys, they can't handle that pressure that he is able to give out. And he's able to really just punish these dudes. And he hasn't fought a lot of, in their prime, besides the Dan Hooker fight. But because Gilbert was definitely way past his prime. Nick Lentz definitely way past his prime at the time. Had a good showing against Sadiq. Didn't finish him. But then he went out there and just obliterated Dan Hooker. But Dan at that time was just fighting all the time. He was not being smart. Had the weird fight with Calvin Kattar. And then Max Holloway just beat the brakes off of him. So this is a really good opportunity for Arnold to stay in the top 5 and say, no, I am here. I am a contender. And he can go out there and be the first guy to solve that Movsar puzzle, because Evolev so far, he's that guy that nobody really talks about because he doesn't put on these crazy knockouts, crazy submissions. He's just very dominant, and we just haven't seen anybody be able to solve that puzzle yet. And I'm very interested to see what his weaknesses are as well. And I think Arnold is a guy who can test that. I think that his pressure, his sharp striking, his powerful striking, is definitely going to see what Movsar is going to do. I'd love to see the grappling of Arnold Allen as well. I'm sure that Movsar is going to utilize that. But I love this fight. I absolutely love this fight. You have two guys who don't want to take a step backwards. You have the complete mixed martial artist against just Like Arnold Allen just seems like he'd be like almost like a serial killer in real life. That dude is intense. So I think I'm gonna go Arnold Allen, but as a betting man, you'd probably go with Movsar because he just doesn't lose. He hasn't lost yet. We haven't seen it happen yet. So this is a great fight, very interesting fight. I think this pay per view is rounding out to be a pretty good pay per view. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this featherweight matchup. Let me know in the comment section. Do you guys think Arnold Allen is going to take over, or is Movsar Evloev going to keep his 0 at the end of UFC 297? Guys, that's going to do it for today. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. Help the channel grow. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.